Good morning everyone, welcome to chessroots.com. Today I am gonna show you a game played between Lujbojvik and Anatoly Karpov. This was played in the year 1993 and it's a lineage tournament. Here Lujbojvik played c4 and Karpov replied with e5. This was the standard English opening. Knight c3, knight f6. English opening is just a reverse of Sicilian where white plays e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, where white will have a one more advantage. Knight f3, knight c6, e3, bishop b4. Now here white is going to get a position where he will play queen c2 and later a3. I guess most of the Sicilian players will see this position like bishop d3, queen c2, a6 and e6, and like so Lujbojvik tries to get the same position with a more advantage, and later he can attack on the queen side with b3, b4 or bishop b2, having double bishop on the queen side or long range double bishops. So queen c2 castles. Here nd5, rook e8, bishop d3. So now white is threatening knight f6, queen f6 and bishop into h7 will gain a pawn. Black can now play h6 and prevent that, but this bishop on d3 will be very active, so Karpov doesn't want to allow that, and instead he needs to restrict this bishop movement by playing a g6. After g6, the bishop is restricted to only few squares. Knight f6, queen f6 and a3. In this position, he needs to play a3 with the idea of b4 and bishop b2. Later maybe bishop e4 or bishop e2 and d4. So bishop f8 and bishop e4 with the idea of d4, and here Karpov played d6, b3. Now bishop b7 is a bishop b2, so he played nd8, which is a very good move. nd8 having a multiple idea. It's a prophylactic move. First of all, he can release this bishop on c8, and main thing, he was not prepared to double this pawn on c6. And next thing is, whenever he releases bishops to anywhere, he can even challenge the bishop to f5. After nd8, black can still play c6 and later queen e7. f5 will never open the bishop, and white cannot have a good attacking chances even with the double bishop on the queen side. So bishop b2, now the idea is to simply open with c5 or d4. Now black doesn't want to allow this bishop to be pinned with the queen, so he played queen e7, threatening not to prevent c5. The only chance that white can open with a good chance of a double bishop advantage. So he played rook c1. Now he is threatening c5, so black have to reply and need to close these bishop diagonals. So he played c6. After c5, he can reply with d4, d5 and later bishop g7 supporting this e5 pawn, and these two bishops are not so dangerous. So queen b1, with queen b1 is forced because now black is threatening f5 and this bishop don't really have any square. So queen b1, bishop g7 supporting e5. After f5, whatever d5 or c5, d5, he needs to give support to this e5 pawn. After castles, he played bishop d7, trying to develop his pieces. b4, f5, bishop c2, and knight f7. The last piece that black develops to f7. Now white don't have a really a good plan, so he tries to maneuver and tries to play like moves like f4, later maybe exchanging these bishops, trying to beat the king of white of black. So he played knight e1. Knight e1, having a multiple ideas. Even he can play f3 at one point, preventing this e4. So after knight e1, black played, I think, a good move called c5. c5 fixes the pawn on c4, never allows them, and the c file rook on c1 will never open up. The main point in the c5 is to play bishop c6 and activate this bishop on this diagonal. To need this, he need to play b6. After bishop c6, immediately white will reply with b5 and won't allow this bishop on c6 to be stable. So after c5, black will try to play b6, bishop c6. So he played bishop c3, supporting and trying to take b into c5 and queen into b7. So he's forcing b6 and qb2. Now white is threatening to play f4, which is very hard to see, but the bishop on g7 is hanging. So he needs to give the support to a bishop on g7 with the queen or any other piece. The queen is the only move, and we cannot give queen on a pinning diagonal. So how you will support? This knight on f7 doesn't have a good square, so he played knight to g5, giving the support to f. Now if he played f4, he can take e into f4 and sits the knight on e4 with bishop on c6. Black will be definitely better. So white doesn't want to sit he played f3. After f3, black cannot open with e4 or f4 like moves, which will be a very complicated game. Instead, he tries to activate his pieces more with bishop c6. At this moment, f4 looks very bad, because after e into f4, bishop into g7, queen into g7, queen into g7, king into g7, e into f4, knight e6, and this pawn and this bishop will be very good then compared to bishop on c2, which don't really have any scope, and the pawn on f4 and the square on d4 are very weak, and black immediately threatening to double this rook on e5. So obviously white should face a lot of problems if you allow this variation. So he played f3, bishop c6, bishop b3, knight to e6. Now knight doesn't really do anything on g5 after playing f3, so he tries to maneuver this knight to an even good square and trying to prevent the key move d4 for black side. So after knight e6, knight c2, queen h4, preventing the d4 and trying to create some weakness for white. Knight e1, rook e7, doubling the rook, queen c2, rook f8, queen d3, rook d8, supporting the d6, queen c2, bishop f6. Just black is waiting for white to commit some mistake, and also to plan a piece sacrifice like knight d4 something at one point, maybe even doubling and attacking this knight on e1. So he played rook d1, and immediately after rook d1 knight d4 can be played. After ed4 this bishop and rook on c1 are attacked, and he played rook f2. If instead of rook f2, if he played bishop b2, rook e2, nd3 and rook ed8, will be very bad for white, because the pieces on b3, b2, knight on d3, queen on c2 are really doing anything, hardly not doing anything. Now black can easily play a move like maybe bishop, maybe queen g5 is good at one point, or even bishop g5, or even rook g2. Some point it will come rook g2 and rook again, this rook to e2. This is clear better for black. So after d into rook f2, d into e3, d into e3, played bishop g5, g3 is the only move, and queen h5, f4 is the only move, or else you play bishop e3, rook ed8, threatening rook into e1, knight e2, preventing rook e1. And here I think Karpov played a very good move, rook e2. After rook e2, rook d2, rook e1 check, rook f1, rook into f1, king into f1. Here played queen into h2. Now the threatening is queen h1 check and queen into g2. So he played and rook d5, trying to block away the bishop, and bishop d5, c d5, bishop into queen into g3, f g5, queen f3. Here Uzbek thinks he can resign this position. So this is a very good game played in between two great players. I hope you enjoy the line. See you in the next class.